The trailers for season 2 was very strange. The finale led you to believe that the show's narrative direction had some level of intricacy and was carefully thought out. So then, didn't it feel strange for a show like this to bait the audience over and over again with Lou's death? You would almost think that they were above such underhanded cheap shock factors. But what if I told you that Lou actually dies? Or rather, one of them do. Hear me out. First episode of season 2, you see Lou fading in and out, almost like the parallels of the worlds were flickering, and one of the premonitions was him holding Chang, as he appears to be dying. Then says everything is changing, and death can't be avoided. So maybe it's better to face death now, almost like he had some faith he'd survive, but also wary because he's literally bleeding out like it's happening as he expected it to, if he had died. When Lou met the mysterious girl in the hospital room, I believe that she asked him to cooperate with her, as she's actually an ally. Because it was so out of character for Lou to be so secretive and hide a meeting from everyone, as the picture of the message didn't warrant such a surprise reaction. Because we already know that Lou is not a sentimental guy who will be swayed by a potential enemy. Here's what we do know. Death is a no that cannot be changed. But think back to season 1 with what happened to Shu when she got jumped by the enemy in the bathroom. If Chang didn't intervene with the body possession, she surely dies there, does she not? So what makes this situation different from the others is that Chang intercepted with his abilities the same time the enemy does. What we learn from this is that the events caused by the body possession powers of the enemy can be altered. Even death nodes, which were thought to be unchangeable, can be changed if Chang plays his cards right when he jumps into the photo. Which is further evident as Lou was initially surprised Chang actually manages to save Emma, even though he can already see the future events of the picture due to his powers. Now, Keen was a character that immediately caught my attention ever since I saw him. His pupils is the same color as everyone who Chang possesses with his powers. Surely they know that the audience realizes the similarities, so why cause this confusion with his character design? What if I said that Keen in the current timeline in the show has been swapping in and out with Chang, who's in the future, and the pupils is to hide this fact? What we learned from the chief is that Keen was righteous and a much more dedicated police officer than he was, and they solved many cases together. What if Keen has been chasing after a guy this entire time? Remember the case with the murder of his pregnant wife and how the person of interest was eventually let go due to the lack of evidence, and then shortly commits suicide. Doesn't that sound familiar? Isn't that exactly what happens to Lu Min? A suspect who was questioned by the police but was going to be released due to the lack of evidence, and then to just commit suicide? What if he has already pieced it together, and realizes that someone with supernatural abilities has been committing a spree of murders, and his pregnant wife was one of his victims? I believe that Keen is actually working with the main group, along with the mysterious girl with the pink hair. What I personally believe confirmed that we are currently playing out a time paradox was season 2 episode 4, similar to what happened with Shu's situation, where they were playing out events that has already happened. When they were trying to figure out how the photo of Shu and Xiaoling got in the hands of the enemy, and they asked Shu to check her phone to see if it was sent to anyone, and they found out that it was sent to someone, but the person died years ago. Now, think back on the bridge where Chang confronts Emma. Then shortly after, the enemy possesses her and says, "I didn't realize there were any witnesses," meaning things that happened in the past is outside the reach of his powers, so why send a picture to someone who has already died several years ago in the past? It could only mean that the events that are happening right now in the show are already deviating from the original timeline. I have faith in Link Click's storytelling, and I would like to think that I am on the right track on where things are heading. But tell me what you think about my theories in the comments below, and thanks for watching.